Tap me when you see it. In case I miss it. Maybe.
I got to put the title in, so hang on a second.
Good God.
Well, it doesn't ask me till the last minute.
We're going to bounce back between, right?
Yeah. Can you see everything on all the screens? Can you see yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting ready to hit it
All I
live.
see is me.
Okay, here we go.
5 seconds.
And hello, everybody. It is Tom Chenault, and it's the Network Marketing Leadership Show. Got my son, Adrian, here. It is going to be an unbelievable show for you this week. I cannot believe the timing. I'm like the happiest. I mean, God's so great because we couldn't have gotten a better guest for the environment of fear and uncertainty and confusion in the world than Michael Bernoff. I mean, even you're confused, and you're a very spiritual.
I'm confused as hell.
Yeah, grounded kid. This is nutty stuff.
This is crazy.
So I don't know if you guys know Michael Bernoff. I'll never forget the day Cindy Samuelson says, you got to go to Michael Bernoff. I go, I've done the Landmark Forum. I've done LifeSpring. I'm an AA guy. I've 10 times, I looked at him. He's so damn good looking. I was jealous. 7 feet tall. And Steve Wallach had told me that Michael Bernoff was literally the most evolved, connected person he's ever met. So I immediately hated him. So I just immediately went on a mission to basically invalidate him to make myself look better. So finally, and that's just being laser straight with all of you, because that's the way we all are. Or maybe just me, but whoever it is, that's the way I am. So as a result of that, all of a sudden, I ended up in a Michael Bernoff seminar, and it changed my life. After all those things I'd done, this was the unbelievable seminar of all time. And I want you to go to Phoenix and do it. And then he comes back and says, you need to do this thing called HIT. And I don't even remember what that acronym stands for, but it was all about learning all about the NLP and all that jazz. And that was another unbelievable experience. I love this guy, and I love his heart more than I love his intellect, even though he's a bright guy. And he still looks like a movie star with a beautiful wife and an incredible daughter. But I'm telling you what, you want to listen to this guy because he is the real deal. Michael Bernoff. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, Tom. I have to say that was one of the more unique, honest, real Tom Chenault style intros I've ever received in my life. And with all things considered, I am doing great.
Yeah, it's a terrible time for the world unless you have got yourself in a spot where nothing sticks, where you're able to actually file the fear over in the fear file box and not open it. And what you taught me over that one weekend about how I can look at my mind and actually have control over the thoughts that used to run me was truly life-changing for me. And now I don't know if I told you this in a long time. I bought, if you don't remember it, I bought all your stuff.
Yep.
So there's still things that I listen to on a regular basis.
So long ago, they might have been on tapes.
No, they were CDs.
Okay.
And then the second thing that I do is I listen to The Untethered Soul all the time, which is very parallel to that whenever I'm scared. And I am the first to tell everybody that I get scared a lot. And I think human beings get scared a lot. But when I catch myself getting scared, I realize what it's sticking to or what I am trying to hold on to. I let it pass through, and then I bring it back and I can look at it objectively, all because of Michael Bernoff. And if you didn't understand that, completely understandable, because I said it stupidly, but Michael can explain what I said. Take it away, Michael. What's going on?
What you're saying, here's the thing. We all feel fear. It depends at what level that we feel fear. All people feel it. And I think a lot of times we have like, especially you're dealing with business owners, we have an illusion that all companies that are doing well always have a good day. Amazon has days where they lose $100 million, or it's just all proportional in our lives. We're all dealing with stuff. One day it's your child sick. One day it's something economic. One day your neighbor loses their job. One day somebody loses something. And it's all fear, and it's all proportional in our life. And the one area that I have been obsessed with, and I think this will summarize it for everybody watching this right now. Our company is called the Human Communications Institute, and we believe that communication is the most underdeveloped and underutilized asset that we have as human beings. And I send my daughter off to school, and I know better, and I still send her with a lunchbox, a little note in her lunch that my wife packs. But how often do we really take the time in our lives to master the art of our communication, of how we deal with how life shows up? So I figured at this time in the world, like, I don't know, Tom, it was January or even December, we decided we were going to do this show. We couldn't have asked to position this better for people. So I would love to go, like we talked about off the cuff, like I'd love everybody to walk away from this with a mini version of what you got in Scottsdale, so they can deal with the next days, weeks, and months in an empowering way.
So where's this all sit for you? I mean, you've got to be, yesterday I went through everything Michael Bernoff, which was really, really cool, just to go back and revisit all the secret websites that are Facebook pages that I'm part of, that you just forget about them. Your people are coming to you in complete paralysis, and you're having conversations with them and freeing them up just like that. And I think if there's anything on this planet that people need right now, is knowing that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Because I know that people are coming to me and they're helpless. They think the world's coming to an end, and that scares me for them.
Yeah, this is the best way to look at this, is to really take an understanding of things. I'm going to tell you I am not an expert. This is for like the legal people out there. I do not know infectious disease and viruses. I don't know what controls the economy. I can't tell you anything about those things. But what I can tell you is 20-year obsession with understanding what makes this thing work, our mind and our brain. And if I were to just give everybody a little bit of a science here right now, an obsession and a science on the things that we do, human beings, our brain is predated traditional society right now. And it's a biological function that we have. It's inside of our head, and our brain's main function, which most people don't realize, is to keep us alive and to keep us safe. And one of the ways it does that most effectively is to look for problems and look for things that are wrong. So it's like 24/7, 7 days a week, looking for crap that doesn't work so we can avoid it. This is why when you're driving, down the freeway, the 10, I don't know, what do you have? You have Route 80 by you? Is that by you? I don't know. I had in Jersey. 20, whatever, a freeway, right? You're driving down the freeway, you look to the right, there's a car crash. Two things happen. One is you can't turn away because we're obsessed with looking at problems. And two, you're so thrilled it's not you, right? So as human beings, we get obsessed about our own problems. Then when globally the world has a problem, it's a challenge to see past it. So the one thing I'll tell all of you is that if something happens with the market or with a virus at 8 a.m. to somebody you know or just the world, it's now 3 o'clock in the afternoon, let's just say. It's not physically happening right now, but everything is encoded inside of your brain based on pictures, sounds, and feelings. So the same thing in there is about that girl that teased you when you were 9, or the kid that picked on you, or that person rejected you in your business. Everything is coded in your brain as pictures, sounds, and feelings. Most people do not know they have access to alter and change those. And when I talk about where we get stuck, I've got some systems on how you and your team can see past that. Yet I want to just take this where it goes here today. So you just tell me how deep we're going down this rabbit hole. I can guarantee everyone's going to win. And by the time you're done listening to the show, you're going to have answers you couldn't even believe about how to make your life work better.
So, I mean, you said an interesting thing in your little intro, which is, I have a rudimentary exposure to this stuff. And even at that level, I hear you guys and I'm like, that sounds cool, but like, I don't really know what that even looks like. I would imagine we have people watching and listening who are like, I really don't know what this is, what this is about. So like, let's go to that kind of first person of like, man, I am freaked out.
First grade level.
Like that sounds good, but like, what the heck does it even mean?
Good. Well, I'm glad it sounds good. So that was my first thing, is to let you know that it sounds good.
No, but I want you guys to notice, because you've got us both on the screen.
Yep.
I want the listeners to look at how intently Michael's listening. I mean, you are a great orator. I mean, I've been in rooms with you, and it's amazing the words that come out of your mouth. But I think the thing that most amazes me about you, and I watched your interview with that hockey player the same way, and I was struck by your intense listening, which people need to master because we're all so busy thinking about what we're going to say next. We're tuned out to the person speaking, and you're exactly the opposite. I want to acknowledge you about that, and I want people to notice that because that's where you get to where you want to go in life.
Yeah, that's the big piece of the puzzle. And part of that comes from not being concerned about people think you need to get better at listening. I would say we need to be more comfortable with ourselves. And if we're more comfortable with ourselves, we'll listen better. So listening comes from confidence and not worrying about what needs to get said or if you look good or if you sound good or what's going on. The less you care, the more you can care. Yeah. And I think that when you stop worrying so much, things start getting easier. So if I were to take this to your first grade level, and I appreciate the compliment, Tom, if I were to take this to your first grade level, is this: most people have a neural pathway in their brain. This is code word for program that works. They have a pathway in their brain that basically says, I can see up to a point and a little bit past it. Anything beyond that point is more uncomfortable. I'll give you an example. If you're out to dinner with people, it is easier to gossip, complain, and be negative because that's the way the brain normally wants to do versus creating new things. So anytime you've got to create a new idea, it's harder or there isn't a neural pathway built for it. So in layman's terms, the greatest gift you can give yourself during these times of turmoil or trouble is to ask yourself and your team the most empowering question. I'm going to give it to you right now. In 6 months, when this is all over, what is going to be different in your life? Now, the reason I ask that question is in 6 months, if you were to really take 9 seconds, 3 seconds, 8 seconds to answer it, even just to go, I don't want to think about it, that will start the digging of the new pathway. So if I were to ask Tom right now, I'd say, Tom, in 6 months right from right now, when we're past all of this, what is going to be different in the Chenault household?
That we looked at these days as the greatest thing that ever happened to us for the growth that happened than the circumstances that were around it.
Very good. So if you're as a leader, even if you're a leader of 3 people, even if you're just a leader of your household, even if there's nobody on your team yet, even if you run a small business and you have one person on your team, you have an assistant or just you and your wife or husband or significant other, whatever it is, by sitting down with somebody you care about, even your children, and going, when we're past this, which presupposes we will get past it, how will things get, what will be different? Not how did we get through it? What did we do? That's question 2. Question 1 is what will we notice or what will be different? It starts opening possibility for people. The reason people are obsessed with social media, I'm going to teach all of your audience a lesson right now.
Let's do it after a break.
Oh, good.
Mind?
Break.
We do that? Okay, so we're on the Genesis Communication Network. Just got off the phone with Michael Zwirling, who's like level 1 to Ted Anderson, who's Genesis Communication Network. These guys are gigantic, and they have put us on for 12 years, and they are absolutely the greatest people in the world. I want to thank them. We're coming back right after this on the Genesis Communication Network. Okay, we're back. Now, don't say anything important during this break because it won't be on the radio. Yeah. But we got Cardamone, we got Jordan Adler, we got Michelle Van Etten, we got Natalia from Russia, we got Amy Boson, who's not familiar with you. She's a Landmark girl. I mean, great stuff. People listening. Yeah, Jason Cardamone.
Love him.
I met that kid. He was, when I first met him, he was already like 12 and feeding the homeless with his brother and his dad, Frank, changing the world, but he was just a deer in the headlights. You have changed that kid's life. Now he's making more money than he can count, happily married, sober, just doing life like magic. And I am telling you, in the comments, I guarantee you, he's saying that's all Michael Bernoff, and I just want to thank you for giving that kid a life I couldn't give him. I mean, he glommed onto me and said, I got to go to Arizona. That's so funny. Yeah, true story. So yeah,
I love that guy. That was the first conversation I ever had with him was about you.
Yeah, crazy. Contact mapping.
Yeah, I loved what you said in the opening section, Michael, about just how important communication really is. And one of the things that I think is accentuating the fear in the world that we're in right now is that we're being told we have to do this social distancing thing, right? Everybody's out of the office. We're stuck in our house. We're cooped up. We can't do the things that have given us these social jolts that, that help us to navigate through life right now. And we have gotten really passionate about that subject. And we actually, we put out a really cool blog post that's essentially a guide for really how to create community in a more powerful way using Zoom as the platform. And there's something called breakout rooms that's like a hidden feature that I didn't even know about until a couple of days ago.
Do you know about that?
No, I want to hear about
it.
it.
In Zoom, you can, if you and I are talking and you think I'm full of shit, all you got to do is say, Tom, let's go over there. And you can go over there, take me to the woodshed, and then come back to the group. So I'm having AA meetings where I can grab somebody that's really in trouble and pull them over there. And he did a video on it. I wouldn't have known about it.
Yeah, it's really powerful stuff.
Send me that. And then if you want, I'd love to interview you guys on the contact mapping also.
Oh, that'd be phenomenal.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
I'll get you on the Average Suck show for that, Tom.
Oh, I'm unbelievable.
Yeah.
See?
That's super cool.
Yeah, well, that's a big deal. That ain't the show. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so I just posted the link to that in the comments for anybody who wants to check it out. But
okay. Can you email me that too, brother?
Yeah, absolutely. And we have an opportunity, thinking about that 6 months from now question, right? 6 months from now, you could have shown up as a new leader, a bigger leader than ever before inside of your community, inside of your company, inside of whatever you're doing. And I think it takes that courage to seize the moment. It takes that courage to lead from the front. I saw a really cool quote from one of the top guys at Salesforce saying, during crises, so during good times, leaders should lead from the rear and kind of stay out of the spotlight. But during crises, leaders have to lead from the front. And I think this is a time where we got to pull people and show people where to go. So
agreed.
About that.
And the scab picker, Richard Brooke, has just reminded us that the commercial should be almost over. So 5, 4, 3. And we're back on the Network Marketing Leadership Show with Tom Chenault, Adrian Chenault, and the great Michael Bernoff. I am telling you, this is a perfect guy for you right now to be listening to, paying attention to, and getting from and getting involved with all those things, because the guy understands. I mean, we can talk about this. I've called you a dozen times over the last couple of years just to say I'm ready to cry right now because I was in such trouble and I didn't know how to get myself out of it because I could not have it. Something was going on. And I just said earlier, because I'm so transformed that when trouble comes in, I just look at where it sticks and then I find out what I'm holding on to and I pass it through and bring it back because I'm so spiritual. That's a lie. I couldn't do it because I was too scared. I was too stuck. And I called Michael. And in a short amount of time, because of his training and his ability, he got me out of the trick bag and I was able to go on with my life and look at what I was looking at with better perspective. And Michael, I love you for that. And everybody could have that experience with you, and they should.
I appreciate that, Tom, and I appreciate your courage and confidence to reach out and get a hold of me at that level.
Yeah, and it's happened. That wasn't a con, was it? I've done that.
I have those phone calls. I record all the messages and I keep
them
as drive.
That's probably worth some money.
Yeah, I'm selling them on eBay right now. Hey, you want to hear Tom on a bad day? But we all have that stuff, and this is the thing that I was mentioning prior to the break, is that whether you realize it or not, and this may be a shock to all of you, media is a for-profit business, and they understand human psychology better than we do. So they know that puppy dogs, people getting married, you know how crazy this is, Tom? You could post a picture that your dog died on the same day as a picture of your wedding, which I guarantee you, from Mark Zuckerberg's mouth, which do you think gets more likes and clicks?
It's the dog.
The dog.
The freaking dog dying, because people are obsessed with that. They're not that thrilled for you doing well. Some people are cool with it. I'm not being negative right now, but dog dying, you get 100 of the rainbow over the bridges. You get a bunch of stuff. You get a GoFundMe account set up. You got married. Oh, great picture. Congratulations. Yeah, you idiot. I wish that was me. So all I'm saying is, as human beings, we need to recognize that. I bought a website years ago. I haven't used it yet, but it's devicediet.com. Spend your time on social media. If you're spending more than 10 minutes right now reading about anything that you shouldn't be reading about, nobody's an expert out there because it's all new. 10 minutes. Give yourself 10 minutes and then you're done. And the reason I'm saying that is Back when I got into network marketing and direct sales in my early years, my mentors always told me, avoid the news, avoid all that stuff. Social media is that same crap we need to avoid for the most part. Not all social media, but the social media of your brother Bill giving you advice on viral infections.
Yeah, good call. And just look at who you're taking advice from. I mean, it is insanity. Get advice from people who have what you want.
Yes.
I mean, that's on every level. That's on financial, that's on health. You call me on the phone and say, hey, Tom, you know any weight loss products? That's a stupid question to ask me. I mean, don't buy that. That's a terrible idea. Ask him. It's that simple. You got to ask people that have what you want. And going back to Michael Bernoff, let's talk about that a little bit. People are walking in the door, and there's a couple of comments on Facebook, actually, about people that are stuck. And they were stuck going into the virus scare. They're stuck in their life. They're stuck in their network marketing business. They're stuck in their marriage. They're stuck in their money. How do you get unstuck?
Okay. So I don't believe, I think that word is a tough word. So the word stuck, if you understand what it means, it means like you have glue on your shoes or you can't move. You got cinder blocks on your feet. So the challenge of the word stuck is you're screwed before you get started because the word symbolizes can't move. So let's just get really real. If you're stuck, you applied the glue. Just own it. You got to accept that. Number one. Number two is, let me explain why you're stuck and what's really going on. And this has been a huge project of mine over the last decade of my life to understand this one piece of the puzzle. Because I personally have been stuck at least 6 or 8 times in my life where I knew better. I was capable of more. I have this burning desire in my heart to do more. But my brain was always like, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. I want to get to the next level. And my heart's like, you can't do that. Who are you fooling? Don't go, you're joking. Let me show you how last time you screwed up. So these two are like men are from Mars, women are from Venus. This is from somewhere and this is from somewhere else. So they don't go together. We need to get them to work together. So if I could talk about getting unstuck, the part we need to get unstuck, do I have 3 minutes before break? Do I have 2 minutes to get into this, Tom? Because
No.
it's big.
No. Okay. So hold the deal. And we'll come back because we don't want to mess this up. Do you agree?
I agree.
Then we're gonna have to go to a break.
Maybe a shorter
and we'd have been
intro
going like
next
this because that was so nice of you.
Tom.
No, there again, if it would have been Richard Brooke, he'd have talked all the way through the break, and I would have had to erase everything. So he doesn't like my commercials on GCN because they're all survivalist and automatic worm catchers and stuff like that. So we're going to come back right after this on the Genesis Communication Network with Adrian Chenault, Michael Bernoff. It is the Network Marketing Leadership Show. We'll be right back. And we also have to talk during the break. So we're back. Those
survivalist commercials on GCN are kind of having their day right now, though.
Oh my God, they are. They buy the meal prep kits and everything. We're good.
Yeah, man.
Mark J's wife, Davine. Davine is an angel. She's talking about your new book, Average Sucks, which we have to get into it. This is great stuff. Ricky Brandino, big news with this kid. It's good to have you guys listen and give the guy Brooke, and Brooke is just a complainer. And here's what happens to me every week on this show. I get a note after the show and Richard Brooke goes, would you introduce me to him? Can I get him on my show? So expect a call from Brooke wanting to be on the show because
he's got my number if he wants to call me.
Yeah, he's just a one-upper.
Oh, I love it.
That's simple.
Well, speaking of Brooke, I'm interviewing Brooke for the Contact Mapping Relationship Capital podcast tomorrow.
No.
How about that?
What a segue.
That's pretty good. I know. It couldn't have been set up.
You got to get Michael on there too.
I know. We really do. Yeah, we really.
We got to work together more than ever right now.
Yeah. And one thing that has to happen is, and then during the next segment, I don't want to talk about it because I want to have it on the radio. Another thing that you shifted me, and I'm going to tell John Milton Fogg to get on here because he's all hooked up on this right now, is I used to identify myself as my name's Tom, I'm an alcoholic. And my buddy Michael Bernoff was not happy with that. And We'll talk about that after the commercial.
I got an answer for that. That's very solid right now.
Amen. Cool. All right. So go ahead, H.
Yeah, so just a little bit of a plug on this other podcast that we launched recently that you might want to check out. So if you go to contactmapping.com/podcast, you can see all the episodes. There's a video version, so you can watch it on video. You can also subscribe there. This last week, we did it with Tina Joy Carroll and Lindsay Tronalone, who are like just these they're the best people on Facebook Live. It's insane. And the conversation was that their relationship, their friendship actually came about as a result of having connected on social media, and then how, they're doing these Facebook Lives, but really what, the purpose of doing it is to create this authentic connection that they sort of give first by being vulnerable, by sharing their lives, and end up being able to create these two-way, real life relationships with people that not only allow them to grow their business, but have, created these great friendships. And so it was really cool, but lots of great stuff on there. They're short as well. Nothing wrong with Tim Ferriss, 2-hour podcasts, or Joe Rogan 5-hour podcasts, but you can only have so many 2-hour or 5-hour podcasts in your life. So
except for right now, they work right now because most people are home, right?
That's true. Yeah. Maybe we need to go long.
I did one for like 12 minutes the other day, and somebody commented, "You're going a little long, Tom." So 12 minutes.
12
Joe
minutes.
Rogan, 2 hours.
I know, man.
It's frightening. That just shows I have no content. And so then all you guys can write back and say, "Get back to Michael." So that's so funny. Contact mapping. I'm telling you, you guys got into the LA Times.
We did. Yeah. I fundamentally believe that connection is more important at this particular moment than it has ever been, not only because that's true generally, but because of everything that's happening. And our CTO, Rick, had tweeted something about how important it is for 12-step programs of all different kinds to find ways to bridge this gap, because people are feeling disconnected. And a reporter from the LA Times picked it up, and he's like half this article that was like ran in the print version of the LA Times. Like, it's really, really cool. So I'll actually grab that link. I'll share that in the comments too.
Stop isolating. I mean, you're home. I mean, this is a miracle. I thought he wasn't even coming because he's so afraid of catching the coronavirus from his dad.
This is actually a secret split screen.
I swear. Yeah, no kidding. Because it's that serious out there, and we're taking it that serious. Because if I've got it and I cause him to have it and my grandkids to have it, I will never forgive myself. I mean, you won't have to have me die of it because I'll just jump off the bridge. But the point I'm trying to make to you is it's serious stuff, and people are isolated and scared. I'm isolated and scared. Let's help people get connected through relationship, the coffee shop interview. We'll talk about that free ebook on contactmapping.com in the next commercial, except I just talked about it now. Don't even need to.
Contactmapping.com/CSI.
Yeah.
You can go grab a free copy of it. And it's just, you're saying, oh, I don't know what, why would I call somebody? I don't know what we're going to talk about. This is what you can talk about, and you're going to have the best conversation you've ever had with whoever it is that you use this with. And it's just awesome. So go and
love it
up there, and you can grab that for free too.
And Jason Cardamone, we got a couple seconds left. Jason Cardamone got his dad, Frank, on the show. So we love you, Frank. I haven't talked to you in a long time, but much respect to you, sir. Okay, here we go. Back to the show, Brooke. And we're back. It's the Network Marketing Leadership Show with Tom Chenault, Adrian Chenault, Michael Bernoff, Jordan Adler, and Richard Bliss Brooke. We're happy to have all of you aboard. This is really, really cool having Michael Bernoff on here, because what I love about him, I love everything about him. He's got this new book, Average Sucks. We're going to talk about what we were going to the break on here in a second, but he's just written a new book. We're going to get the cover of that into the comments. You want to buy the book. It is off the chain. It's called Average Sucks, and you have to buy it. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But let's go back to that point you were trying to make that was going to be a 2 or 3 minute answer, if you don't mind, Michael, because it's important. Yep. And I want to talk about that Tom Chenault's an alcoholic conversation too.
We can cover it all. It all goes together, and it goes with the Average Sucks, which the craziest part is the book was supposed to be launched right in the middle of this whole thing, and we had some chaos with the book, so we're back 30 days from publishing, but it wound up being the most beautiful thing in the world, because who wants to launch a book the February 28th right in the middle of this whole scare? So boom, everything worked out even better for us. So here's the whole 2-minute version. When people are stuck, here's what's really going on, and it goes into the Tom the alcoholic conversation as well. We all get to a point in our lives where we say to ourselves, I'll never do that again. This is why most people join business. You got a job you can't stand, you're upset in your relationship, you want to stop drinking, whatever it is, you say, never again. And everyone gets a day where you're pissed off enough that you're going to change, and you build a wall behind you and say, I will never, ever go back there again. We've all done that, right? Then at that same moment, instantly you build this wall in front of you, this dream of what you're going to do and all this wonderful stuff and your goals and your happiness of what you're going to get. So we live our lives saying to ourselves, what I don't want, what I do want. And that's like every dinner conversation for people. I don't want that. I do want that. I don't want that. I do want that.
Right.
And what happens is we start building these walls in our lives that the other wall we have is our identity wall of here's the way I see myself. And this is the way I show up in the world. I'm the person that wants that and doesn't want that, wants that, doesn't want that. And then you put the perfect people in your life, enough people to cheer you on, enough people to keep you where you're at, enough people to remind you you're not good enough so you can stay inside of which I would call your average, which is your identity. So I don't believe anybody's stuck. I believe you are really good at doing your life you currently do. You've got a lot invested in the life you currently have. The problem is it is your average. It is what you do automatically. And what's so cool is if you just want the life you have, you can sit on your ass, do nothing for 6 months. And you know what happens is you'll wind up in about the same spot. So all the goodies, all the things you want in your business, your life, your personal life, your relationship, your love life are all over the wall in the life that you want. So when I bring this up, I don't believe a person in this world is stuck. I believe that your identity is the person you currently are, and you have to be willing to try on and own a new identity. And that's where my training begins, rewriting who it is you really are and not who you've been being.
Yeah. And you call it, I think you call it future casting or something like that.
Future pacing.
Future pacing. Yeah, that was it. But going out there and actually visualizing what your life is going to look like, and then coming back to right now, setting it, and then actually living your life into that because you made that your intention, and all of a sudden it starts becoming real, right?
Yep.
That's beautiful.
That's where most people go wrong, Tom, with this is they forgot to build the problems in. Most people dream, like you'd be better off with a nightmare board than a dream board. No questions asked, because people don't change. Most people realize during all this hardship, they don't have a will. Then they're going to get one. Most people realize they don't have enough money. They're going to go get it. Build a nightmare board and you will be more motivated than a dream board 97% of the world.
So talk about, my name's Tom, I'm an alcoholic. Why did you get so pissed off when I said that time?
Because you're smarter than that. That's a starting place. I'm going to tell you it's a great starting place for people, and I could have a battle with everybody. I haven't drank in 4 years. I wouldn't call myself an alcoholic at any point, but I don't know who is or who isn't. What I will tell you is when you put that out there, it makes your current identity. You haven't drank in how many years, Tom?
31.
31 years. And I know that you're dealing with it on a regular basis, but in the past, alcohol was more of a problem than it is today, correct?
100%.
So in the past, alcohol is something I had less control of. Currently, I'm working on getting better with it. It gives you a future that's possible other than a past that's guaranteed. I'm not telling you first week in AA, you need to walk around and going, alcohol is something I used to have a problem with. But we need to learn how to put money is something I used to have a challenge with. Relationships are things I used to have a challenge with. Once you're getting better, we want to encourage you. Step 13 is building a new identity for yourself.
So I can call myself a recovering or a recovered alcoholic with absolutely 100%. I'm creating an outcome for the future that is, instead of staying stuck in the alcoholic, which is what John Milton Fogg, I mean, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I'm doing an AA meeting every day online.
Love it.
So you used to have to come to Longmont to go to an AA meeting with me, and I just lived for people to come. And because I'm such an idiot, it never dawned on me until, thank God, here comes the coronavirus and Corona, whatever it's called. I don't even drink that.
Dos Equis.
Yeah, Dos Equis virus. But whatever it is, all of a sudden now I'm in these AA meetings with my friends from all over the world, and actually getting to know these people at a level that I haven't ever even known them. So this thing's had its blessings. There's no doubt about it. And any of you that do want to go to an AA meeting virtually with me every morning, 7 days a week at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, just send link. Pamela, just put my email up. That way you're not outing yourself even in the comments. Just put my email up.
They can send you a message on Facebook too.
Yeah, anything. Just do it, because it's more important to me than anything. So this is scary times.
Yeah. And what about for people on the radio?
What about them?
I don't think they can read the comments. Tom at TomChenault.com.
Yeah. Pretty good point. Tom at TomChenault.com. Forgot about you, Ted Anderson, in the radio. Yeah, sorry. That's why you guys make all the money. All right.
That's awesome.
But so I really like that. And especially, so we're talking to a lot of people in network marketing. And I think identity is a huge piece inside of network marketing, because I think in many cases, living into the identity of being a network marketer is not always easy for somebody who comes from certain kinds of backgrounds or has hangups about what people are going to think about them and that sort of thing. So speak to that side of it in terms of in our business identity. How do you break down some of those barriers?
I mean, if you've been a teacher, which some of the greatest, I remember reading A.L. Williams' book back in the day when I was doing direct sales full time. He always said he liked coaches and teachers because they were the best because they were used to coaching and teaching, which is what network marketing is. So let's say you've been a geology teacher for 20 years, and then you've been a network marketer for one day. You are really good at geology teacher and really not so good at network marketing because you've been doing it for one day. So our key to adjusting our identity is to start working on building the one that we truly need and start really developing the identity we want. A lot of people want to talk about fake it until you make it. I would say they've got that whole thing backwards. What people really need to work on is when it comes down to their identity is building the identity that works for them and start visiting what's on the other side of the wall. So start focusing on what it is they want and building the character that they need to create. So one of the biggest challenges we have is, and this is, you want to know like the systematic way to change your identity is to admit that you're not where you want to be. This is like step one of AA. I got a problem. 3 things happen when you admit that. Folks, AA is parallel with everything in life. I love the program, and Tom and I joke back and forth about this, but the number one step to be an incredible network marketer or an incredible business owner is to accept you're not where you want to be. 3 things happen when you do that. Number one is instantly possibility creates itself. Wait a second, I could be somewhere else. And at the same time, instantly insecurity shows up. Wait a second, I'm not as good as I thought I was. So then you've got to decide, do I jump back into teacher? Do I jump back into lawyer? Do I jump back into the other thing? Or do I move forward? So 3 things that occur. When you accept you're not where you want to be in health and relationship and finances, insecurity shows up because you're not as good as you thought you were. Possibility shows up, but the gap shows up as well. And then what happens is the plan starts to appear. And I'm going to tell you, most people are not willing to. They want to skip this step of the puzzle and go, you know what? I'm not where I want to be. Where do I really want to go? A good sponsor would say in AA, as well as a good sponsor in network marketing. I was lucky early on, incredible sponsors in network marketing that guided me that said, you truly, my friend, do not know what it is that you're talking about. And if you're willing to accept you're not where you want to be, I can help you. So I would say that is step 1 for everybody watching this. And then you won't get caught off guard anymore lying to yourself.
How cool.
That's pretty good right there.
And that's the biggest con is the lie to myself.
Yep. I lied to myself for years that thought I knew what I was doing. Listen, if you were that good, you'd have what you want. So just shut up. That's what I say to myself. You're not that good. If you were that good, like I tell salespeople all the time that work with us, how good are you at sales? If they say great, I say you have no room to grow.
Yeah.
So I look at your relationship with Deborah, and I look at Brooke's relationship with Kimmy, and I look at Mark J's relationship with Davine, and actually your relationship with your wife. That is a testimony to personal development.
Yep.
Because once you know yourself so completely well and you've done the work, then you're not looking to get fixed, and you're looking to go out there and find somebody of like-minded thinking to go create something bigger than just the 2 of you. And I know a lot of you, and the parallel to network marketing, the parallel of life in that is once you do enough work on the inside that you can go out and conquer anything on the outside is when you probably are getting there. And that's what I want for everybody. I want everybody through this coronavirus is, again, I'm quarantined. This is the first time you've seen me in many days.
Few days, yeah.
Yeah, I don't leave. I haven't left my
You're
house.
physically quarantined, but not verbally.
Yeah, no question.
Right.
But yeah, that's a good call. But the point is I have gotten such appreciation for my wife, my marriage, my personal development, and the work I did before. Because if it hadn't happened, we would have been in the jackpot over there in that house locked down for all this time, as much as old as I am and needy as I am. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's your work that got us there from here.
Thank
and
you.
I want all of you to understand that. How do they find you? michaelbernoff.com. What do you do?
There's a bunch of ways to find me. You can go to michaelbernoff.com. I wanted to, I know, I'll give you guys a couple things. You're home right now. So it's like, most time we don't want after school homework and stuff, but I wanted to give everybody a little gift. You can go to michaelbernoff.com. I wanted to give you, if you have this thing, I don't know if you guys know, it's called a phone. If you have one and you send a text to 480-800-8051, I'll give it to you one more time, 480-800-8051. If you text the word momentum, because that's really what everybody's after. I'm giving away a really cool training, no strings attached, 30 minutes of check out what Michael's got going on, and something that you can use to change your average in your life. I wanted to give you guys all of that as a gift, because that's a big piece of the puzzle. And then depending on when this airs and when you're watching this live and when you're hearing it again, I had something else real special that this is a one-time thing you'll think we're crazy for doing, but I wanted to give that to everyone out who wants extra credit.
480-800-8051, right?
Yep. Send just the word momentum. The training is ridiculous. It's 30 minutes. You'll want to watch it. And then at the end, if you text back action, after it's over, we got another gift for you. It require you to pick up the phone and talk to our company. But I wanted to, this time right now, we've got to stick together as business owners. And if you're home and you're quarantined, or you're home and you want to get ahead in your business, for 17 years, I've been marketing something. And Jordan Adler is one of the guys that helped me kick this off in 2003 or 4, I believe it was our call to action program. And this one time I wanted to give you guys this as a gift. I built a special website. It's theactioncall.com. And we're giving away our $600 program. Never done this before, for free. There's not even a way to put a credit card in. I think, Tom, you paid $600 for it. So
Nice guy.
This is free for everybody watching or listening right now. If that's available still, you just have to use the code FUTURE, because we only want to work with people that want to have a new future. So
Okay,
it's theactioncall.com.
That's beautiful. Now I'm going to have to go back to your course just to get over the fact.
You got to work them, and you could share that with your team. It's going to have a limit of how many people we're going to let do it, but go there ASAP and
we're going to bury you, Bernoff. We got to take a break.
Bye.
Take a break. All right. It is the GACN network. We'll be back right after this. Stick around.
Oops.
Nice takeaway, Tom.
No.
Yeah, I only talked through the break by about 5 minutes. So
Oh, I didn't even know that. Just stop me next time.
unbelievable. Yeah, thank you very much, Jason Cardamone. I didn't see that 800 number posted up, so make sure you put that up so you can text that. Is it?
Yep.
Pamela Radar.
480-800-8051.
Yeah. Wow. This is really, really great stuff. So, golly, Nads, Chris Sanchez, Dana McGrady.
No, man.
She needs to do
famous.
your course. In fact, I am going to make sure. Have you ever had Dana McGrady do your course?
Nope.
That's one very messed up naturopath.
I like messed up naturopaths.
So did you? Didn't you just talk to 1,000 naturopaths?
Yep. Not him.
No, that's a woman.
Oh, not her.
Wild-haired woman. She's great. I love her. So she's really not messed up. She's a great woman. So that's cool. What?
You're a mess. Nothing.
Okay.
No comment. Not encouraging you. Nothing.
It's your commercial. I can't.
It's my commercial. This is the take back.
Okay.
So I was talking to, I work with a group of personal trainers, and I called one of them up on the phone today to check in on how she was doing, because they just moved everything to virtual. And it was like this big community oriented, everybody gets together, rah, rah. So I called her and just said, hey, how you doing? And she was really freaked out. She is worried that everybody's going to quit doing the thing. She's worried about her subscribers. She's worried about all this stuff. And to me, I think a lot of businesses have a real problem here that they got to get on top of, like, right now. She doesn't have this problem because she knows all these people. All I said is call your people and love them. That's all that this comes down to. If you own any kind of business, if you have any kind of recurring subscription, any kind of repeat business in your life, your job right now is to figure out a way to get in touch with everybody who has bought from you and just call them and tell them that you love them and see how they're doing and spread love. And they are never, ever going to leave you in your business, because that's going to mean so much to them. And I'll tell you what happened to me today. So I'm going to do a Facebook Live about this a little bit later too. But so I get a random phone call this morning. I never answer those calls because you never know. He always answers them. It just messes with him. But anyway, so I didn't answer. I was busy. I was with the kids. So I always get the text message. Chick-fil-A called me this morning. I had ordered a catering thing for my daughter for her birthday in February. And some lady from Chick-fil-A said, hey, this is Chick-fil-A in Longmont. I just wanted to thank you for your order back in February. And I want you to know that even though the dining room's closed, we're doing all kinds of catering stuff. And it's a great way to support families during this time. We'd really appreciate it if you came by. And you bet, like, I probably wouldn't have gone by, and you bet your ass I'm going to go by now, because who does that?
I told
And
every
it's so
restaurant that I go to, we trained the staff at Two Dog Diner. They're out of business now. That worked out well. But you've got to know your customer. You got to have a database. My God in heaven. The most important thing you have are your customers. The only reason I went back to that dive was because I knew the owner.
Yep. It's crazy. So we got to come out of the break. But so I'm Adrian Chenault. Find me on Facebook. Send me a message. We're going to put something together around this that's going to be unbelievable. But go to contactmapping.com right now. Find out what we're about. And I'm going to get you plugged into this. It's going to be really, really cool.
Unbelievable. All right. And we're back. It's the Network Marketing Leadership Show. Tom Chenault, Adrian Chenault, and guess who else?
The Michael Bernoff.
Amen, Michael. All right. We've only got one segment left.
Wow.
I am, an hour.
Flies
and I
by.
watched, and I watched I've watched 3 of your podcasts, stem to stern.
You're the one.
Yeah, no, those things rock. In fact, I'm on the Peloton in the morning, so I'm texting you as I'm listening because they are so powerful and keep me moving. You really, really knock the cover off the ball, and people need it. What's the name of that thing?
It's The Average Sucks Show. It goes right along with the book, The Average Sucks Show. And go there, listen to an episode, subscribe, check it out. It's meant for people that want to live an above average life. I mean, there's some really, really great topics on there. It's not your standard podcast.
No question about it. It's real and it's raw. And what was that hockey player's name?
Theo Fleury.
Oh, wow. I love
Yep.
Theo Fleury. Wow.
Yeah. Anyone that's number
I love
57 of all
Theo.
time in goal scoring, we got on the show, and his story about addiction and breakthrough is incredible.
Lost all his money.
He blew 1.5 million in an evening. I think that's impressive.
One night. That's one great night in the bars, man. Yeah. So great story. Great, or just completely unplugged. And that's what I love about what you guys are doing. And, in your courses, it's the same way. I want to ask you, are you doing enough? Do people have to come to Arizona in this climate, or can we get
No. With the actioncall.com and using the word Tux Future, you don't have to travel or fly anything. All you just have to do is have a phone or a computer and connect with us and commit to willing to come out better on the other side. I mean, we've trained 10,000, 20,000 network marketers over the years, and the results are incredible. So that's you don't have to fly anywhere. We have courses you should take that you fly to. You should definitely come to those. But for right now, for the next couple of weeks, start here, and then we'll get to talk flying later.
You've got time. You're locked in your house. And I'm telling you, I was so obsessed with CNN, I wasn't doing anything. So did you hear this yesterday? I bought, for $16, I bought 24 issues of Get Smart with Maxwell Smart. You know that guy? And I have had more fun watching that with Agent 99 and Max. I mean, I'm having the time of my life. So yeah, I'm a new man. I got rid of this. So I got rid of fake news and got Maxwell Smart with all his phones in his socks and all his shit.
So funny.
I'm brand new because I've got to get out of my head. That's a little 30-minute respite, and I'm back to work, and it's really cool.
I'll give you a little thing that we've been doing and we got our kids involved too, is grab some postcards or grab some paper. Your mailbox is not off limits, and a stamp, and send a letter to either someone you know and care about, or send a letter to a stranger out of the phone book and just let them know that, hey, life will start to get easier soon. Send them that. Let them freak out by it. Who cares? Send some good news. And the coolest part is if you write on the outside of the letter, the mailman will see it too. So you impact the mailman, you'll impact the mail sorter, you impact the person. I like picking total strangers and just very simple notes saying the world will get easier soon. Some fortune cookies basically to people. We do that all the time.
That is so cool. And this, there's so many, mail people, Uber drivers, there's just so many people out there that, like, the world doesn't stop. And there's a lot of people that are having to kind of go out into a scary environment and keep on keeping on. And, we got to look out for them and love them.
Yep.
What an unbelievable idea. Let's all do that. That is. Can you imagine somebody getting a note from your little kids in that big block?
Crazy.
and then they call your little kids up or write back and tell them that, it would change everything. That's beautiful, Michael. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's make a difference out there, everybody. Just love like crazy, then love more. That's the whole magic of our life.
That's it. That's the whole game.
And plug in with Michael. You want your relationship to get better? Plug in with Michael. You want your business to get better? Plug in with Michael. You want your life to get better? Plug in with Michael. I am telling you, I'm a messed up human being. You guys know that. I do an AA meeting every day of my life, and I'm still calling Michael Bernoff on the phone, literally sobbing, going, I am so stuck. You've got to get me out of my head because I am going to turn into a raving maniac. And he does. He talks me off the cliff every time. He's worth every penny you could pay him, and his podcast is out of control.
I'll still never forget that when you went and did that first big course with him, and you had a little bit of a story even going into that of, I'm sure it'll be good, but I've seen this all before. Yep. And you came, it was striking watching you come back and go, I can't, I almost said no to go into this thing. And I went basically for Steve, and it just changed everything.
No, I went 100% for the wall because I didn't want to go. I thought Michael Bernoff, how could anybody so beautiful be so good? So it was impossible.
Take a compliment.
Yeah, it was impossible.
That was a double compliment with a backhand in the middle.
I'll take the backhand. I'm a hockey guy. I get caught up on it. It's good.
And yeah, another thing, he's 7 feet tall. How could he possibly?
That's I didn't know that was part of the Tony Robbins job description, but this
it is. It
How
is.
about Marianne's kid? How tall? Marianne's kid's 6'8".
6'7".
6'7".
And he was a goalie.
He's a professional hockey goalie.
Come on.
Nice.
Oh yeah, no. He coaches AAA hockey.
I'll score on him.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, we got to get out of here. You're not hanging up though, Michael, because the show continues on. So we're going to be back now. Who's our guest next week, Marianne?
Oh golly, it's on the screen right behind you.
Okay, good.
We can't see it because you're sitting in front of it.
Yeah, I can. Well, we really.
Jordan Goldman and Ryan.
Yes, this is a green screen, Marianne. We just looked over our shoulder. We
You
can't.
got green behind you.
I
All right,
said,
we'll see you all next week. We do have a guest.
oh yes, we do.
All right, hang up.
Jordan Goodman and Ryan Chamberlain.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. The show's over. That was a terrible takeout. All right, Ryan Chamberlain. You guys want to hear the show next week? Ryan Chamberlain, big-time network marketer down at Evolve. Prior to that, he was someplace else. Raised a family in network marketing. Now he's running for U.S. Congress.
Wow.
So we got a guy that we need to all support all over the world. And so he's going to be on next week. I don't care. I have no idea whether he's a Democrat or a Republican or a Libertarian or a Mormon. I don't care. I just want to get, I'm not a political guy. I vote people. And this guy is a people you want to vote for. Who's the other person?
Jordan Goodman.
Oh, Jordan Goodman has a show.
Talk about some good timing again.
Yeah, moneyanswers.com. Everywhere, CNBC, everybody, he's always on TV. He's an amazing guy. You're going to love him too. And it's just a great day. But Michael, wow, yes. You killed it as usual. And
thank you.
How about Brooke? Thank you. Oh, that's what it says. Thank you, Tom. I thought it said thank you, Michael. Oh, no, it does. So anyway, everybody loves you, man. That's so perfect. It's just really
Teamwork.
Good. Teamwork.
Right.
You do anything I can help you with? Are we still live?
No, yeah.
We're still live.
I think we're live on Facebook. Anything I can help you guys with?
We want to partner up with you. I think we are on a parallel mission, and we can do a lot of good in the world together.
I love it.
I want to tell you a crazy story about addiction.
Okay.
Because this blows my mind. So I go to the store the other day, and I'm walking down the aisles, and there's no toilet paper. There's no nothing. Nobody's getting eye contact with anything. It looked like a war deal, just horrible. And I go through the paces at the store, and I can't buy any toilet paper. So I'm walking around for things that I can buy in this trance. And I get home, and you remember this? This is the craziest story I've ever, now I'm an addict. So we get home, and I start unpacking all the stuff, and my wife goes, holy shit. And I go, what? She goes, Rocky Road, 3 different types of Talente gelato, and a box of Skinny Cow ice cream sandwiches. And this is from God's mouth to your ears. I don't remember buying any of them. That could have been a cocktail. That's how
scary.
That is scary stuff. I almost called you.
I got a Ben and Jerry thing going on. Yeah, what it is a lot of times it's habits and it's things that we go back to. Like I know I have this thing in me, like I eat healthy the majority of the time, and I go back to New York and the first thing I want is a slice of pizza. It's some of it is environmental. It's you get in a neighborhood. Like I could walk down Arizona. I haven't drank in 4 years, but if I walk down Arizona State University where I did the majority of my drinking, I may be more desiring a beer or something because it's like it's built into the environment. So probably in your life at some point, a trigger sets off when you're not happy, you're in a relationship that's not working out well. It screams Ben and Jerry's or cookies or something. We all have our go-to. Like our parents gave us when we were kids. They would we would always celebrate success with the diner, right? Or a meal after a graduation. So I associated for years success with food.
Yeah, that was the craziest thing. It haunted me. I called you on the phone. Yeah, because I just couldn't.
I'm gonna send you some ice cream. It's gonna come to you melted, but I'll send it.
Yeah, don't go. Yeah, I'm not even. Yeah, I don't even know if that's my drug of choice on the food front. Yeah, I don't have any idea. It's just amazing. It blew my mind that I did not remember buying any of that, and it scared me a little bit. Yeah. So yeah. Do you know who Dr. Ipe is?
Yeah.
Did he come to you, Dr. Ipe?
I don't know him yet.
He's my medical doctor who is a professional ski racer.
Cool.
About 70 years old, one of the coolest guys. And he got me into that Cenogenics and really, really turned my health around about 3 years ago. And I love this guy with all of my heart. And he's even watching and just gave me some advice too. But I'll tell everybody, you're human beings. And I have found that I'm only as sick as my secrets. Yep. And if I can get that out of my mouth and tell you guys what's going on with me, that I call Michael Bernoff when I'm scared, when I black out and buy food or whatever it is, that's helping me not do that anymore. Because Michael's going to call me on the phone and say, there's a feeling underneath that thing. You've got to go source something. You got to refile something. And that's every one of us. I mean, that's simple, right, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the filing inside of your brain is if you've got something that you're dealing with, we all have like a place that it lives inside of our heads. And the question is wherever it lives or how it lives there controls everything. So for instance, if you got fear, doubt, or frustration, again, like I said earlier, it's based on pictures, sounds, and feelings. So how you hold that and where that's held inside of your brain or the word choice you use is what's associated with things. Like I always say, Tom, I battled with working out for 20 years. And then I realized I don't want to work out, but I do like training. Training I did, working out I didn't. Switch the word, switch the association. Addiction means something you can't get over. Becoming healthy, and I've made poor decisions for a period of my life, and I'm getting better at that daily, may give you a better opportunity than a word that is socially designed to hold you where you're at, but a great starting point. So I will tell you, filing, the first part of filing is the actual word use. So here's a thought for everybody watching as business owners. How well are you marketing to you what's currently going on in the world? So that's my next book coming out, Marketing to Yourself.
Wow, that's big.
Think about how you're marketing to yourself. Who's the narrative? What's the narrative? What's the word choice? You know what I mean? So that's the next thing we're going to have after we launch this one is something to do the degree of marketing to yourself.
Okay, there's something out there called an open AA meeting.
Yep.
So in Longmont, Colorado, you come down to visit me, and Lucian he's watching from Romania. I mean, I can't tell you all the people that come to town with me. They go to all my favorite restaurants. They do all the shots. But one thing they always do is go to the 7 o'clock AA meeting with me, even though they aren't addicts, because I want them to experience it. And it's not against the rules. You know, it's an open AA meeting, so you can go. So the meeting that we're doing in the morning online is an open AA meeting. So I just put the link in the comments, and I haven't done that. That's the first time I publicly put it out.
Fantastic.
But if you want to, so all of you that are watching, because Daveen wanted to see it, and a couple more people have been begging me for it, and I know how ADD and I am, and I'll never get back and figure out who I'm supposed to send it to. So now it's in the comments, and I am going to tell you, just if you come, You got to be respectful. If you're a visitor just observing, respect that and don't speak. But I am telling you one thing right now, there is no better group. All network marketing is Alcoholics Anonymous with a compensation plan tied to it. That's all it is. You know, you go into there, you don't want to go, you're absolutely thinking you're better than everybody in the room. You sit down at the table, they tell you to read the book, they tell you to stay sober, you go do it yourself, you come back drunk, you finally go through the whole process, you read the book, you do the steps, you start sponsoring people, and then they say, then you think you graduate, and they say, what do you do next? And they say, go help other people.
Yep.
And that's the same thing in multi-level marketing. That's all it is. They're the same thing. They're parallel programs. And you'll see that tomorrow morning if you come by at 9:30 Eastern time. So that's my gift. So you got to go. I love you, Michael Bernoff. And we can't, I know you got another webinar, but I love you. That's
love you too. And this is fascinating, you know, connecting over this and all the parallels of what's going on. And I'd hate to think that it takes world challenges for us to get together and care this much. Imagine how much stronger we would have been going into this if we started at this level, or maybe we were and didn't realize it.
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
So thanks, my man. Thanks for sharing, both of you, having me on. I'm excited to help you with whatever ventures you have. And if I can help anybody out there at an appropriate level, reach out, let me know, join me at theactioncall.com, you know, use that code FUTURE, and let's hang out for a couple days. Let's all accept we're not where we want to be, and let's get there together.
Now they're commenting our shirts match.
Yes, they do.
I wore the opposite. You guys are the light.
I'm in the
dark.
black too. Yeah, Michael.
I don't have a cool chest or face. All right, everybody, we love you. We'll see you all next week. Thanks a lot for listening. Ryan Chamberlain,
All right.
Congress.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.